Annulment of marriage is governed by the Indian Divorce Act, 1869 and Special Marriage Act, 1954 in India. An annulment legally declares that a marriage is void or never validly existed. The common grounds for annulment in India include non-consummation of marriage due to impotency or willful refusal by the spouse, existence of a prior existing marriage, consent obtained by force, fraud or mental unsoundness, marriage within prohibited degree of relationships. An annulment can be granted by family courts in India. One party can file an annulment petition unilaterally. The court will examine the evidence and grant annulment if the grounds are proved. Ex parte refers to legal proceedings conducted in the absence of one of the parties. In an ex parte annulment case, the petition is filed by one spouse and the other spouse does not appear in court despite being served notice. The court will proceed with the case ex parte and pass the annulment judgment if the petitioner is able to establish valid grounds. The absent spouse cannot later challenge the grounds on which the decree was passed. If the annulment petition is dismissed, the aggrieved petitioner can file an appeal before the High Court. The opposite party can also appeal if the annulment decree is passed ex parte and they want to contest it. The procedure for appeal is laid down in Order XLI of the Civil Procedure Code, 1908. Key steps are: file appeal within 90 days. The limitation period for filing an appeal is 90 days from the date of judgment. Grounds of appeal. The memorandum of appeal must specify the grounds on which the judgment is challenged. Common grounds include procedural irregularity, error in judgment, insufficient evidence, etc. Appeal hearing. The appellant must appear before the High Court on the date fixed. Evidence and arguments will be presented to convince the High Court to set aside or modify the lower court's decree. Judgment. The High Court will pass a judgment either confirming, modifying or setting aside the lower court's annulment decree. This judgment will be binding on both parties. To fast-track the appeal, the appellant can file an application requesting early hearing due to urgent reliefs needed. Engage experienced divorce lawyers to draft appeal papers effectively. Ensure technical flaws like delay, improper stamping etc. are avoided. Furnish copies of lower court records to High Court promptly if required. With legal assistance, the annulment appeal process can be simplified and expedited in India.